Okay, this is lesson 40, and we're writing quotients with mixed numbers. But when you look at this picture, you think, wait, they're still doing fractions, and they're still drawing pictures. It's a way to show you how to write quotients, because if you have a mixed number, then your answer is a fraction. Okay, so they have a picture of some pot pies in the book, and they have two whole ones and a part of another one. So they wanted you to add up all how much pot pies you have, and you have 2.5. I did the same thing with what they did for example 1. We're going to pretend like these are pot pies. So they want to know how many I have. So the shaded part's what I actually have. Somebody already ate that little bit. So I have one entire pot pie. And then I have a half of another pot pie. So if I put them together, I have 1.5 pot pies, right? Do you guys know what chicken pot pie is? Man, it is delicious. And then they talk about a sheet of paper, and if you fold it in half, how big is it? So this is 11 inches, this is 8.5. If I fold it in half, I know that this measurement here is half of 11. So what's half of 10? That would be 5. But I know it's not half of 10, it's half of 11. What's half of 12? 6. So it's somewhere right in the middle between 5 and 6. 5.5 inches. I was going to show you on a ruler, but my paper's not 11 inches. I have no idea why. Okay, let's look at example 1. Paco, Alejandro, and Lucy will be equally sharing 7 chicken pot pies. Are y'all getting hungry yet? How many pies are there for each person? Okay, so Paco can have 2. Alejandro can have 2. And Lucy can have 2. But I have another one left over. What do I do with that one? Can they get a little bit more? Maybe for their little brother or sister? So if I break that other one, oops, that's not very equal, is it? If I break that into 3 equal pieces, can I give 1/3 to Lucy, 1/3 to Alejandro, and 1/3 to Paco? Sure. So how much would Paco have with his extra little piece? He would have 1, 2, and there's your whole number, and your fraction is 1, because he has 1 out of those 3 pieces. And Alejandro would have 1 and 2 and 1/3, and Lucy would have 2 and 1/3, right? So that adds up. If I have 1/3 plus 1/3 plus 1/3, I have a whole pie, 3/3, right? Well, that same problem is 7 divided by 3. Let's do it over here where it's not in the way. Okay, so I'm going to do my same 4 steps, although this really isn't that hard. How many times will 3 go into 7 without going over? We'll go in 2 times, won't it? So I've divided. Now I'm going to multiply, subtract, check. Is 1 less than 3? Yes. Do I have anything to bring down? No, so I have a remainder. Before you would have written remainder 1. Now what I want you to do is say I have 1 out of 3. So I'm going to put my remainder on the top and use my divisor there outside the box as my denominator. So the numerator is the remainder, the denominator is the divisor. So if I take 7, divide it into 3 equal pieces, each piece will be 2 1/3 pies. Example 3 says a grocer divided a 5-pound block of mozzarella cheese into 4 equal pieces. The pieces were then wrapped and displayed for sale. Which quotient represents the weight in pounds of each piece? Well, it'd be easier if it was a 4-pound block of cheese, because then each piece would be a pound. So I know it's going to be a little bit more than a pound, right? And I can just do my division here. And I can say, oh, 4 goes into 5 1 time. Multiply. 1 times 4 is 4. Subtract. 1 left over. Remember, that's my new numerator and then that's my new denominator. So each block of cheese is going to be 1 1/4 pounds, right? Does that make sense? So really, this is nothing different than regular division. But instead of writing R1, you're going to write the 1 up here and the divisor is your new denominator. It's easy, and then you'll be all ready for life. And the R doesn't tell you a whole lot. The fraction tells you a lot more information. Okay, good luck.